Hard Rockology Show, Chris and Matt back in with you. That's new music by a band called Scottish Widows. The song's called Threw It All Away. And recently I had a chance to talk with drummer Mikey Vee about the band, their plans for 2015, and whatever else comes to mind. It's all coming up right now.
So the best way to describe Scottish Widows is a guitar-driven hard rock band. I mean, that's how you would describe yourself to other people that would come to check you out, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you listen to the 3 tracks that we have completed right now, first thing that hits you in the face is the guitar. We have a really, really talented guitar player, and you can see when he does his solos are really tasteful, and it's just, I mean, I'm a drummer, and I sit back and smile when Carl starts doing leads and stuff. It's just, it's a good feeling, and that's, what I brag about. I say, yeah, you listen to this song, get ready, here comes the solo, and we're a guitar-driven hard rock band.
So Carl Rizzo is a guitar player. Who else do you have in the band?
Carl Rizzo's on guitar, Eric Suki is our lead singer, and Al Russo is our bass player. 4-piece
band out of, you said Staten Island, New York, New Jersey area, right?
Yeah, we're Staten Island, borderline New Jersey. We're right near the Outer Bridge, so we're targeting New Jersey as really our home base.
So we opened up the show with the song, one of the 3 songs you mentioned, "Threw It All Away." I really actually like the guitar riff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Heart Barracuda. It's got that vibe to it.
Yeah, it's got that vibe to it, but Carl's inspiration is more of a Gary Moore or Michael Schenker. Those were his idols growing up.
2 pretty good guitar players right there.
Yeah. You'll hear a lot of Schenker and a lot of the stuff that he does. That's pretty much his main inspiration. He's a big Joe Bonamassa fan and a big, like I said, a big Gary Moore fan. But we're trying to, in this day of age, we all come from that classic rock background, so we're trying to write new music, but keep it along the lines of that classic rock sound.
Yeah, not more. I kind of make it a little bit more modernized, but keep it more in the classic rock type.
Exactly. Like we like of course the early Zeppelin, but like also the early Aerosmith type stuff. Before the Rocks album and basically it's all based upon all around that guitar stuff. So that's what we're going for.
So I go on to Google. I type in Scottish Widows, and we get the not the band, we get the investment place in Scotland. So I mean, what's up with that? Is that what you guys are named after?
When we put the band together in 2010, again, it was a copy band. We had a different singer, a different bass player. We're sitting around and we're kicking around names, and we must have went through 150 names. And I come from a finance background, so that day I was reading an article, and I saw the name Scottish Widows Investment Bank. So I was just so frustrated at we're passing on all these names, and I was just like, let's just call the band Scottish Widows. And everybody around the table was like, that's a great name. Let's go with it. Let's use it. And that's how it happened. We did an interview with a radio station in the UK, and the gentleman that was interviewing us, he was like, hey, I got to ask you, Scottish Widows, that's an investment house here. And we were like, yeah, we know. That's where we got the name from. So, yeah, you know what? There's no Scottish Widows Investment Bank in the United States, so you know what? There's the band Scottish Widows.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to look at it. So you're working on some more music, obviously, you're in the studio right now. You have the 3 songs done. Is it going to be like a full-length record that's coming out, I believe, from...
Yeah, we have 4... We have four more songs that are 90% done. We just got to do some vocal tracks on them and some guitar work.
So it's going to be a 7-song EP. That's pretty much my question. It wasn't going to be a full-length record. Just like a 7-song EP, it's perfect. Most people nowadays rather have an EP than a full-length album because no one has an attention span anymore, it seems.
Exactly. And you know what? It costs a lot of money. So,
yes, it does.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. But when you love something, you just do it. You can't walk away from it and just, say enough is enough. You got to just keep doing it when you believe in something. Like these 7 songs that we have right now, we really believe in them. The song that you'll probably play next, "Drive Me Crazy," is our, we're giving that song away on our website. It's the first song that we wrote, and it's the song that we really, really thought would be the one, because we're just, we love it. We love this song so much. It's kind of tells you who we are. It starts off about a guy who's having problems with his girlfriend because he's a musician and he's got to go on the road, and she doesn't like him going on the road. But then when you get right to where the break is, the whole song changes, and it's basically the band on stage telling the audience, we love you guys. This is why we do this. You guys drive us crazy, and that's why, we're putting all this time and spending all this money to make music, because, not only because we love it, but because we love playing to an audience. And you'll get that when you hear the song "Drive Me Crazy." It's a really, really good tune.
Is that going to be the name of the album? Because I know you have the
that's it.
And that's the album cover with the girl with the gas mask on it and stuff?
Yep, that's it.
That's a pretty interesting idea for an album cover. Who came up with that?
Eric is we like to say he's our media genius. He's a graphics designer. He's very good at what he does. He takes it to the next level. So. And
he's a singer for your band, right?
Yeah, he's a singer for our band.
Yeah, it is an interesting album cover. It actually caught my eye, so that's the whole idea, that you wanted to catch people's eye.
That's exactly why we have it, because when you look at it, it catches your eye.
Yeah, and I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, why is that girl's arms look kind of like a guy grabbing her from behind? And I'm just like, you know what? I'll just go back and look at it again and again while I'm listening to the song. So, a couple other questions I was going to ask you. I go to your website, ScottishWidowsBand.net, and you got some you got a merchandise section, you got some T-shirts, you got some ladies' tanks, you got the rubber bracelets, and I'm wondering, where is the Scottish Widows action figures? Are you going to be coming out with those?
If I told Eric that, he'd probably be designing one tomorrow. So the main goal right now, where all our funds are going, is to finish the EP, and that's what's costing us a lot of money. Not only do we record at a really good studio in New Jersey, Surefire Studios, and you've had Springsteen, Bon Jovi, Skid Row record there.
I haven't heard any of those guys before.
The owner and engineer, Joe DeMeo, is great. He's got such an ear. And then we once we're finished mixing with him, we send our tracks out to Australia, to his Studio 301. There's an engineer out there by the name of Leon, who's got around 450 million albums under his belt. He's done everyone from Deep Purple to Lady Gaga to Heart to Santana. So, it's a good thing. Costs a lot of money, but he definitely refines our sound.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what you'd want. You don't want to just go in and do it on Pro Tools yourself, and it'll come out sounding like you did it yourself on Pro Tools.
I don't want to say picky, but it's got to be right before we all look at each other and say, okay, all right, we'll go with it. And it's, when you're in the studio, you're spending a lot of time, you're spending a lot of money, and it's got to be right. So we do it one time, 2 times, 50 times. I can remember, doing Drive Me Crazy, and the guitar lead was might have gotten done 15 times, 20 times until we got it right.
So you've been playing drums for how long? When did you start playing drums?
I've been playing drums well over 35 years.
35 years. So what are some of your influences growing up, and who are your favorite drummers right now?
I'd have to say my main influence was definitely Bonham. Genius with the bass foot, you know. But I grew up with Ringo Starr. I mean, not many people can appreciate, you know, the simplicity that Ringo Starr has. You know, an in-the-pocket drummer like that. It was mind-blowing with some of the stuff that he was doing. But, you know, I look at the drummers of today, and they're good, you know. Everyone loves Pert. Everyone loves Portnoy. But I still go back to the bottoms, the Roger Taylor from Queen. Back in the day, there was a band, Angel. Barry Brandt was one of my favorites, you know. I still use an old kit with big maple shells, you know, similar to the late 70s, early 80s type kits. So I'm old school, classic rock, old school.
Hey, as long as it sounds good, who cares? I mean, some of those drummers in those 80s hair metal bands, they had the biggest drum sets and they only played on one drum.
Exactly, you're exactly right.
It was like the weirdest thing. I mean, you got this huge drum set, double bass, everything, all these cymbals, and you're only playing one drum.
Right.
It was just weird. A couple other questions. Band you wish you saw in their heyday?
I'd have to say Zeppelin.
So if you said Zeppelin, what tour would you want to see them on? I would say the 77 tour. That's what I would pick.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah. 77 tour would probably be it. I mean, I would be happy seeing any tour because they were just incredible. I was fortunate, you know, enough to see Queen all the way back to from the Sheer Heart Attack album, you know, Night at the Opera, Day at the Races, all the way up. I've seen them there. I've seen Rush about, if I say 35, 40 times. You know, I've seen Van Halen, Boston, I mean, Styx. I mean, I've seen a lot of the big bands. So, you know, I'm really happy with you know, my younger years and what I was able to fortunate enough to see and enjoy.
Yeah, and I mean, just the experience. I mean, obviously, I grew up on the East Coast and went to a lot of shows at Madison Square Garden, and that was like the place to go for a show back when I was younger.
Right. Well, Madison Square Garden, or they used to be the Palladium on 14th Street, which was
correct.
One of the concerts that I always talk about is, you know, I saw at the Palladium, AC/DC with Bon Scott opened for UFO with Shankar, and UFO was opening for Judas Priest. So it was three bands, you know, three great bands on the same bill. It was unbelievable.
And that was a great place to see a concert, too, because it seemed like it was small, but it was huge.
Yeah.
And you had the balcony upstairs and everything.
That's
it was
right.
Really cool.
That's right. It was great. What a great venue.
Yeah, I saw Iron Maiden there back in the day before they got really big, and obviously they played with Judas Priest at Madison Square Garden.
I was probably at that show.
I was probably thinking the same thing. I mean, I've seen so many shows.
I was probably at that show.
You know, it was just a great place to go for a show. You take the train in, you get right there and in the city, and
those were the good days, man.
Yeah,
good days.
Okay, and this is the most important question of the whole interview: Spinal Tap moment.
I can't say.
Oh, come on. You're laughing because you know there is one. That's why.
I can't. I'm at a loss. I'm really at a loss.
All right, I'll let you slide on this one, but usually somebody comes up with something all the time when I ask them that question.
I'm sure if Eric or Al were here, they would definitely be hitting me with one, but I'm at a loss.
All right, I'll let you go on that one. All right, so once again, a big thanks to Mikey Vee, drummer for Scottish Widows. Their EP is going to be coming out next month or the month after. It doesn't matter. It's going to sound kick-ass, as you already know, because we heard the opening track, and we're going to play another one right now. And, Mickey, if you would, please take us out of the interview by introducing the next song.
All right, this one is our title track of the EP that's going to be released. It's called Drive Me Crazy, and it will drive you crazy.